What's up YouTube, it's Hani here from Bumblebee Technology and I'm back with another video. Now just yesterday Samsung announced the Galaxy S7, which was a very anticipated device, especially since last year's Galaxy S6 was a major announcement. Now just like last year, I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions about this new device. So without any further ado, let's get started. So in typical fashion, with these first impression videos, I'm going to start off by talking about the design of the Galaxy S7. And this year, not much has changed from last year. The Galaxy S7 still looks like a beautiful device with the aluminum chassis and dual glass front and back, but Samsung did make some small improvements that make the device a lot more pleasant to hold and to use. And the first thing they did was they shaved the camera hump on the back of the device. Now I know this is something minor, but as an owner you are very scared of scratching that camera lens. And I'm glad Samsung finally addressed this issue by shaving it down. Another thing they did was adopted the curved back from the Note 5, in which they incorporated it into the S7. Now this makes the device a lot more ergonomic and easier to hold in the hand, because right now I own my S6 and I feel that it's very hard for me to get a good grip of the device, especially when I'm not using it with a case. So I'm glad Samsung made these small and minor upgrades, but overall the device still looks beautiful and it's still a Galaxy. There's nothing more I can really say about it. Now we're gonna move on next to some of the new features Samsung unveiled with this device. The first thing they did was bring back some old features from previous Galaxy phones. The first thing they brought back was the micro SD card. Now last year, a lot of Samsung enthusiasts were really disappointed in the fact that the S6 did not have a removable battery and an SD card slot. Now the removable battery people, they've sort of cooled down because they understood that it is becoming extinct already. But what isn't is the SD card, as it's very useful, and I'm glad Samsung has brought this feature back to the device. The next thing they brought back was waterproofing, in which this device is now IP68 rating in waterproofing, which means that you can dump this phone in water and it will be fine. This is a cool feature to have, especially how premium the Galaxy S7 is. You want your device to be able to resist some of those accidental spills and stuff that you might encounter with this device. Another thing that Samsung added to the S7 is a bigger battery. Now I know this is something not major and was kind of expected from Samsung, but really I felt that this is something they needed to do, because I own the S6 right now and battery life is one of the biggest problems I'm having, and Samsung needed to address it. Now I know the S6 charges fast, it has wireless charging, but it just doesn't last an entire day. So Samsung increased the battery capacity to 3000 mAh. So overall, there's not many new features that were announced with the Galaxy S7, but it still makes it an overall better user experience. Next, we're going to talk about software. Now, software is the department where Samsung has slowly but surely been improving on every year, and this year is no exception. Now this year the S7 is coming stock running on Android 6.0 Marshmallow with TouchWiz. Now we saw TouchWiz get a huge overhaul last year with the Galaxy S6, and the S7 is still getting better. Now the interface is very smooth and still fast as it was on the S6, but the key difference is that Samsung incorporated into the software. One of the biggest features is the always-on display, which takes advantage of the AMOLED panel and only lights up a certain amount of pixels in order to show you the time and notification at a glance. Now the one cool thing that really struck me about this feature is the fact that you are able to put widgets on that always-on display. So let's say you want to see the calendar at a glance. Well, you can have the entire calendar widget be displayed right up on the display without having you to actually turn on the phone. And I feel that this is a very cool feature that Samsung really should have thought of before, because competitors like Motorola and Nokia have been doing this for years now. But overall, software really hasn't changed much from the Galaxy S6. You know, it's still TouchWiz, and there still are a few bugs here and there, but still, it is still a work in progress, and it's still showing how much Samsung is pushing to improve every year. Now, this brings me to my opinion. Now, what do I feel of the Galaxy S7? Now, after extensive reading and, you know, seeing a bit of hands-on on the device, I can honestly say I really like the device. I really like what Samsung did to improve what was already a good phone in the Galaxy S6. Now, though these aren't huge upgrades, but these are enough upgrades that a user who is coming from, let's say, a Galaxy S5 will say, this is enough for me to make the jump to the S7. Now, for owners of the S6, I feel that it's not worth it to make the upgrade to the S7. Now, why is that? Well, it's because, first of all, it's basically the same phone. Now, I know I mentioned earlier there are a few key differences in design, but if we're really being honest, there isn't quite a lot of differences, because the design is basically the same. The software, you're gonna get an almost identical software when Marshmallow hits the Galaxy S6, and you know, some of the new features, well, you know, I can live without waterproofing on my device, and I've been living without an SD card. So it's really about whether or not you want the latest and greatest. Now, Samsung did a really good job of sticking with what worked with the S6 and improving on it. But overall, if you're coming from an S5, I would definitely recommend you upgrade to the S7, because you're getting the complete package this time. Samsung has done everything. They've done everything right. They improved the design, they improved the software, they bumped up the specs, and they added key features that were missing from last year. But if you have an S6, I feel that it's not the end of the world if you don't upgrade to the S7. But overall, I really do enjoy the S7, and I would like to know what you guys think of the S7. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this all new Galaxy S7? Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'm Hani from Bumblebee Technology, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.